We have in this verse of the Holy Quran, purification is the aim and the goal of sending down of Prophet, peace be upon him and his family. كما أرسلنا فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا ويزكيكم ويعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة ويعلمكم ما لم تكونوا تعلمون. As we sent to you an apostle from among yourselves who recites to you our signs and purifies you and teaches you the book and wisdom and teaches you what you did not know. Look, as you see, after sending down of the Prophet, he says the reason is to purify you. And the other verse also is famous. وَالَّذِي بَعَثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا مِّنْهُمْ يُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. In that verse also, after talking about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his family, it says the reason is to purify those people, to purify you. So it indicates the importance of purification. Right now, we want to talk about an important subject in Islamic philosophy, in Islamic mysticism or al-Irfan. When we say purification, what do we mean? Purification, as our great scholars have explained, refers to two specific fields. And the expression that our urafa, our ulama have used is the expression of al-hijab or veil, or we can call it obstacle or anything else. As they have explained, we have two sorts of hijab that we should purify ourselves from those two veils, to those two hijab. The first sort of hijab is al-hijab al-dhulmani, the veil of darkness. And the second sort is al-hijab al-nurani, or the veil of light. And tonight, God willing, I'm going to explain a little bit more these two veils. First of all, about the veil of darkness. These examples, these are instances of the veil of darkness. The first veil of darkness, the first sort of hijab that we should remove from ourselves is compound ignorance. First of all, we should know the meaning of compound ignorance. That is when you don't know something and you are not aware of this lack of your knowledge. You are not aware that you don't know. This is the meaning of compound ignorance. And this is the worst sort of ignorance. Why? Because sometimes we are ignorant. At the same time, we know that we are ignorant. What happens? We're going to study and gain knowledge in order to remove our ignorance. Yes? But the problem is when we are ignorant, at the same time we think that we are knowledgeable. We think that we have knowledge. Okay? When this is the case, because we think that we have knowledge, we're not going to remove this problem, and we're not going to gain knowledge, because we think that we have knowledge. We don't think that we are sick, we have problem. So this is a very big problem. So this is the first sort of darkness that if we want to purify ourselves, we should remove this sort of darkness, compound ignorance. Unfortunately, many people, and even some of those who consider themselves as scholars, are suffering from the same disease. This is the first one. The second one, knowledge. When we study the Islamic narrations, we understand that knowledge is not something that we read and study from the books. Knowledge is nurun yaqdhifullah fi qalbi man yasha. Knowledge is that light that God would shine to the hearts of those who want. So, if I study something, I learn apparently something, and it would cause my arrogance, and as a result I'm going to be proud of what I have. I'm going to see myself, I'm going to consider myself as scholar. This is also another hijab. This is also another obstacle from achieving those goals that we want to achieve in Islamic mysticism. Closeness to God, divine proximity. So, if we really want to purify ourselves, we should remove this veil. And you know, when really we gain knowledge, we should be aware more and more that we have nothing. You know, this is the sign of having knowledge. And vice versa. When we think that we have something, it indicates that we have nothing. This is the second will of darkness, this is second instance of will of darkness. The third one, love of self, position, property, power, money, whatever. Any sort of love that has material aspect, that would attach us to this world, to this material world, is considered as another sort of hijab, and we should remove it. Otherwise, we would not purify ourselves. And there are some examples that could be the example of this one, and also out of this one. Such as, for example, sometimes I love my son, and it is not just because love of relatives, love of son, wife, daughter is in the way of love of God. No, I love my son because I love this world, because I want to remain in this world, I want to enjoy this world, not because of God. Okay? This is considered one of the instances of this will of darkness. At the same time, for example, when we love our parents, why? Because God has advised us to love them,